glasses back on. And of course, everything ends just after 4 o'clock. Now, we are watching the skies. You are going to be seeing some pop-up storms here and there. It's not going to be a total washout, and I think everyone's going to get to see some. So satellite radar shows it's pretty busy right now. And let's zoom in. First off, this is up towards the Jamestown area, seeing a decent thundercell right there. McClellanville not looking too bad. Zooming in towards Harleyville area, Holly Hill, seeing a couple showers. Zooming out just a little bit. Again, we've got quite a bit of activity just off the coast. If that stays there, that's fine. We don't want it right now. But the coast proper isn't looking too bad. And then you zoom out. If you really want to guarantee eclipse, head towards the Midlands and the upstate, as things are looking actually really good in Columbia for today. Just make sure you watch where you're driving, because I know traffic is going to be pretty busy. So futurecast for the cloud cover. Again, it's going to be staying off and on through most of the day. So just keep an eye on things. But once we get past the eclipse, things do start to clear out. And again, tonight's not going to be too bad at all. So here's a forecast cloud cover. Again, Isle of Palms, the beaches look the best. Charleston, you will still see parts of the eclipse. It's a matter of, will you have a big old cloud over you over totality? Again, that's a little tough to tell right now, but not looking too shabby. You go inland, that's where it gets a little bit messier, unfortunately, for those folks. And we're going to end, just so you can take a look. There are the cities on our map, or a couple cities that are in the path of totality. You can see where it begins in that second column, where totality begins, and then when it ends, as well as the duration, the length of it all. So overall, pretty cool graphic. Shows again Charleston proper. Totality ends at 2:47 and 57 seconds. Cool that we can map it out that well. And that's it for the weather. We'll have more coming up a little bit later.
All right, so there's a weather report for us. It doesn't look perfect for viewing the eclipse, but it also doesn't look bad.
No. It could always be worse.
It could definitely
be worse.
And I say clouds always do really cool things to the sun's rays, so I'm looking forward to see what's coming up. And there's plenty more of ABC News 4's coverage of the eclipse on a warship coming up. We've got to take a commercial break right now, but stay tuned.
We're in a car with 6-year-old twins for 20 hours. I'm very happy they took the walk, and I'm happy I have a school book to read and a pleasure book to read.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun.
Check, Alex.
Hey, microphone check. Can a producer talk to me just so I can hear? I'm on IFB 4, not 2, since Justin sent an email about it, and the IFB just dropped again. Y'all killing me. And also let Justin know it just cuts, the phone just cuts off. Like,
You're gonna have that problem maybe Friday.
no one's talked to me.
I know, aren't they cute?
You guys can sit, it's fine.
All right, so things are looking okay right now. Not bright sun, but it's still filtered and you can see it.
Right.
And
It's not terribly hot, so that's one good plus of the clouds.
Right, and there's a nice little breeze. No matter what happens, we're going to see a really cool event in the sky. Can't wait to see it. Right now we have Alex Heaton with another angle of the eclipse, and she's going to give us a little bit more.
Hey, Dave and Sonia, normally at this point I would bring in an official with the Yorktown, but we'll let you guys be the officials on this event. I did speak with some people here at the Yorktown just to see whether we're at capacity here. They tell me we're within 500 tickets of being sold out. So about 2,500 people here at 10 o'clock this morning. That was 2,000. So most people have been here since about 9 o'clock. If you look behind me, you'll see most people have brought lawn chairs, beach chairs. You can see people waving. A lot of people that we spoke with have been here, have been here, have come from Florida. Some people have driven from Canada. And these two women, we've got Miss Betty and Miss Eleanor. They are from Greensboro, North Carolina. Now, you came for the eclipse, but had no idea you would do Eclipse on a Warship.
That's right. We didn't know until last night. We were checking the internet to see what was going on, and Eleanor here found that this was going to be open to the public, and we were like, if we can get on there, we got to do it.
All right, now Miss Eleanor, 35 years in the Navy, so you know
the Navy, civilian.
All right, so you know all about these planes.
Oh, yes.
Tell me all about it.
Yes, well, my last job specifically was with the F-18 program, so that's near and dear to my heart. And of course, they land on ships. So ships are part of that's where I started out, in nav ships many, many moons ago. And so I retired in 2000 in December. And I couldn't have had a better job or a better place to work.
Many, many moons ago, no pun intended.
Many, many moons, exactly.
There you go.
Only one solar eclipse that I saw, but many moons.
All right, so is it special for you to be here, Eclipse on a Warship? You know about these ships?
Absolutely. Like I said, and carriers, of course, are near and dear to the F-18s and other aircraft, of course. But, yeah, I'm a ship and airplane person now.
All right. Are you guys related, friends?
We're members of a wine club that we travel and do winery hopping, and so tomorrow we'll be at the winery here in Charleston also. But, yeah. We are just good friends and have been since 2008 or something like that.
7 or 8 or something, yeah.
Well, this is a fun-filled ladies' weekend.
Yes, it is, absolutely.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time. Dave, Sonia, there's so many more stories like this. We'll keep bringing them to you as we talk with people, but right now I'll send it back to you guys.
It's an hour difference from here, so we've got the eclipse starting out on the west coast right now. There's about, it's going to take it about an hour to move across the country.
Right.
And they're seeing it an hour before us, so in an hour from now, we're going to start to get some of the partial.
Yeah, like 109, I think, was one of our earlier spots that would see it.
Right, so they'll see the full a little bit before us, and you can see the NASA feed. We've actually got that available, and we're going to be going
from Oregon.
Yeah,
That's
there it is.
Cool.
So yeah, it's
That's cool.
definitely starting to move in front of the sun. So we figured the moon is moving at about 3,000 miles an hour. The Earth is rotating underneath the moon at about 1,500 miles an hour, but they're moving in the same direction. So what's happening is the moon will move across the country at about 1,500 miles an hour, or Mach 1.5. So
Mach 1.5, that sounds
right. If you want to get in an airplane and fly across the country and try to keep up with it,
good luck.
You've got to be breaking the sound barrier. Which
Good
is
luck
not
with that.
legal over land. I did read something kind of cool though. The C-17s based here in Charleston, one of those is going to fly from Spartanburg all the way to the coast, and they said that the eclipse is moving at about 1,500 miles an hour. The C-17 about 230 miles an hour. Just a few numbers for you.
It's gonna be cool. It'll be cool to see the video because they're gonna fly with the back door open, right?
Yeah, and the camera on, so we'll get to see everything there. So
yeah, it'll be cool.
We've got plenty more facts about the eclipse.
Oh yeah, we got. We got a book over there of facts.
A little less than an hour, we'll start to see the effects of it here in the Low Country. But for now, we're going to take a little break and get back to you in just a minute.
There's nothing I can do, a total eclipse of the heart. Total eclipse of the heart. Total eclipse of the heart.
I can taste that Mountain Dew right now. I can taste that Mountain Dew right now. Daddy's getting thirsty.
I'm going to use Sigler, Waze, and then a DOT, if you can hear me.
Sigler, Waze, DOT?
Yep.
She's going to use Sigler, Waze, DOT.
All right, so we're out here on the Yorktown, Eclipse on a warship, and what I found really cool and kind of moving this morning is when we came onto the ship this morning, I started to think of all the history right here on the Yorktown.
Very true.
And we're about to witness history moving across the United States with the Great American Eclipse.
We are. And something interesting, John Bailey, who works here, mentioned a statistic that they're capping it at 3,000. So last we heard was like 2,500 people are here so far.
Yes.
But 3,000, that was the number of people on the ship when it was active.
Yes.
So that's kind of cool.
Yep. So
tying in that history, like you said.
The Yorktown is active like it would have been back in the 40s during World War II.
Right.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
So we're up here, and we've been watching the Ravenel Bridge. Doesn't look too bad up there.
No, it really doesn't. I mean, it looks worse at 5 o'clock when I'm doing traffic
so,
than it does right now. So that's good.
The cars are moving along just fine up there, and
it's not terribly busy up here. You know, Alex found, of course, she finds ladies from a wine club. How cool is that?
Right.
Did they bring their wine with them? I want to know.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I figured not. But you don't want to forget the eclipse. You want to remember.
One thing is the crowd may be down here just a little bit because folks saw the forecast for a few more clouds right along the coast. maybe some more folks are heading inland, and maybe that's where we can find ABC News 4's Bill Burr. He's out there checking the traffic for us, I believe, along I-26. Wonder what he's got for us. Bill?
Dave and Sonia, I'm sorry I was having trouble hearing you here through my earpiece. Traffic conditions are moving surprisingly smoothly here, at least along this section of Interstate 26 in Charleston County. Of course, some estimates called for up to 2 million people to be visiting the peninsula and visiting the Charleston area. And so far, we haven't seen those numbers right now on local highways. You may have seen the DOT's placement of electronic billboards and signs along I-26 to remind people not to park along the busy highway. Officials don't want lives to be at risk when visitors stop to watch the eclipse. They want flowing traffic in both directions. We found the rest area here on I-26 at mile marker 206 in Charleston County is a popular place for out-of-towners to watch. The Perez family traveled from Orlando, Florida, so they could see this rare solar event. They even spent the night here.
Actually, the concern was the traffic. We were listening to the news, and back in Oregon, they were stuck in traffic for like 5 or 6 hours, and there was actually people running out of gas. So I asked my wife we should leave on Friday night so that we can beat the traffic.
And that's what they decided to do. They actually drove to Myrtle Beach last night. They spent the night up there, and then after leaving Myrtle Beach, they came straight here to this rest area. I believe it was overnight, so they actually spent the night here and slept in their car. They have a 4-door sedan, and then we caught them as they were spending time in the picnic shelter here. They were just playing some games and spending some good quality family time together. They had debated on whether they should travel into downtown Charleston, but they said for right now they think this is the best place to watch the eclipse. And so when it's over, they're going to jump back in the car and head back to Orlando, Florida. We're going to check in right now with my good friend and colleague Erica Scripper. She is keeping an eye on the rest of the roads for us. She is standing by right now in the on-time traffic center. Hey, Erica.
All right. Hey, Bill. Thanks so much. So a few things going on as you head out the door. Just want to note that the pedestrian walkway on the Ravenel Bridge is now closed. It's going to remain closed until 4. All normal driving lanes are open, though. Also want to let you know if you're headed out to Isle of Palms today, their county lot is full. They're on a 1-in, 1-out basis there, so keep that in mind. Also want to mention here, if you're driving during the eclipse, you definitely don't want to look up at it, and you want to turn your headlights on because it's going to get dark out there. An earlier fuel spill on Dorchester Road at Great Oak Drive right near Michaud Parkway is still slowing things down on Dorchester Road. 1 lane is open eastbound and 1 lane is open westbound. Also have a lot of rest areas shutting down. They're full with cars. 95 northbound and southbound, they're all closed off. Some are closed off near Santee as well as Orangeburg, and then the rest area 26 at mile marker 122 in Calhoun County. The DOT is continuing to update us on those. We're going to switch over to Waze right now and check in. Slow going if you're headed down to Sullivan's on Ben Seward. We actually have one of our Wazers posted this photo. Pretty gridlock conditions out here. We're seeing a lot of red. Also slow heading into the Isle of Palms. Let's take a live look and see how things are moving out there. If you're heading out on 526 at Rivers, really nice conditions out here eastbound and westbound. That's the latest. We'll send things back out to Sonia and Dave.
All right, thanks, Erica. It doesn't sound really too bad at this point.
No. So fingers crossed it will stay that way.
Yeah, and fingers crossed that a few of these clouds break. But
yeah,
right now those clouds are coming in off the ocean.
Yeah, it's looking a little. Yeah, I tried my glasses. I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, but there is still plenty of blue.
Time. We got time.
Yep, we have time.
We have time.
And we also have some blue sky here and there. So
yeah.
See what happens, but the Great American Eclipse, it's coming up, and we've got plenty more coming up with our coverage. You'll have to stick with us till about 3 o'clock, and we've got more right after this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Dave was doing a picture, so we were trying to. She said
Cereal
something
box.
about cereal box. Wait, well, Dave was taking a picture.
Are you guys ready for the series?
I was taking photos.
Nope, everything's on the fly. All right, it's the eclipse on a warship, and you want to protect your eyes, you want to protect your cameras as well.
Yep. Yeah, you can't just take your camera out and try to take a picture
Now,
of this.
your cell phone camera's okay.
Right, but your regular camera.
Yes.
Although most of us use our cell phone
And
cameras.
the thing we've been saying the whole time is you don't really want to be focusing on trying to take pictures of the sun unless you're a professional photographer.
Right, because you're gonna miss the big event.
Exactly.
And most people don't have the right filter, and if you take it with your cell phone, it's gonna be really tiny.
And I heard the cool thing to do is take your camera, put it on video, and watch everybody's reactions. So then you'll have that forever.
So you can look up and then video while you're doing that.
Yes, exactly.
Look up.
So we do have some tips on what to do with the eclipse.
You need a decent camera. Your phone is not going to be able to give you a large enough sun disk, so you need a real camera with a longer lens that's going to be able to give you the size sun disk that you want.
Anytime that you would be needing to wear eclipse glasses, if you are planning to shoot with a DSLR camera, you're going to want to have a solar filter on there, and you can buy them for any different lens thread width, but basically anytime that you would be wearing those glasses, you also want to protect the sensor in your camera.
Of our neighborhood, like I'm not concerned about that one.
Oh, that's why I'm being extra active. Yeah, can you just do them? Yeah.
Well, there's some tips
Definitely.
for us. And I know some people are worried, you know, you're going to damage their eyes.
Right.
But there are other ways to safely do it. First of all, you can watch it right now. We're going to show kind of as the eclipse progresses on ABC News 4.
Somebody asked if they had to wear their eclipse glasses while watching the TV. First of all, good luck.
We're going to look really black,
yes.
really dark.
First of all, good luck with that. But
Yeah.
no, it's safe coming through your television. It's just if you're outside looking straight up at the sun.
Directly at the sun.
Yes.
So don't drive with them.
Yes.
We've told people about that. But some people with kids, I know, were a little bit concerned. They do make kid-sized glasses.
And what did you do for Weatherly?
Well, we have kid-sized glasses, but I found where somebody had cut out, like where the glasses are, and then took a paper plate and held it up to the kid's face,
Right.
so that none of the light gets around. So I sent Ed a picture of that this morning and said, if you'd like to do that today with Weatherly, feel free.
And if
Ned's way too young, so we're just going to completely block the sun
If you're
from
watching
him.
right now, Ed, you still have some time.
A little bit of time.
But make sure you get it done.
Yeah.
So I mentioned a little bit earlier, we had that annular eclipse back in 1994 where I was. We got some boat traffic going by.
Little boats.
Bon voyage!
If we were talking about that, I'm sure those boat tours are packed,
Yes.
sold out.
Yes.
Same thing with the helicopter tours.
Yes.
So, oh, that one's going out to Fort Sumter.
We've got that one going on. But the annular eclipse in 1994, I was a senior in high school, and we had...
You told your age.
Yeah. We had the cereal boxes that we used, and we're actually going to make our own.
We're going to make one. And we're going to bring in our executive producer, Jackie, for this.
Jackie's going to help us out.
She has done her... So we've been doing our homework on, like, the research side of things. She's been helping to put together this special.
The arts and
she's also
crafts
figured...
of the eclipse.
Important. There
Awesome.
you go. There you go.
So as you can see, I ate Honey Nut Cheerios for this.
Way to take one for the team.
And Batman.
Yeah. This is, you can make this with items that you already have in your home.
Okay.
Which is perfect.
Yeah, the first thing you're supposed to do is trace the bottom of the box on a piece of paper.
Bottom of the box.
My tracing is not very good, but that's okay.
Close enough.
All right, so once we have that, you're supposed to cut it out, and we're gonna tape it to the inside of the box.
Okay.
Let me just pull this out.
Did you get an A in art class, Jackie?
No, I'm actually not the artistic one.
No.
I'm not really the artistic one in the family. That's my sister. But
Well,
I know how you feel, that my mom is the art teacher, so I know how you feel. I was not the artistic one either.
All right, so now we can tape this to the inside.
So are we going to tape this onto the top?
No,
on the
very bottom.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll get to the top in a second.
Okay.
Hold on.
So there goes the piece
Stick
that
it
was
in
cut
here.
out.
So, yeah, you're going to tape that to the bottom.
Ooh, if I can get it in there. It's actually kind of hard. There's really not a lot of space in there.
I guess you technically could open the box. Well, no, that's not really going to help.
I've got it taped in there.
You have to tape it back up.
This is why Jackie is doing it and we are not.
All right, so now we can tear these little side pieces off.
The small flaps.
Yep, the little tabs.
Okay.
I'll hold that if you want. Oh.
Yeah, just chuck it in the bag.
In the trash bag.
For arts and crafts
The
bag.
arts and crafts bag. All right, once we have that, you're supposed to cut then 2 holes at the top, like 2 rectangular holes.
Okay.
So we'll make a cut like right here.
And if you don't
tear it
have a way
off.
to watch the eclipse at home, you should be paying close attention to this because you still have time to get this done.
Yeah, most people have
eat
cereal
some
boxes
cereal.
at the house. And a white piece of paper.
Yeah.
And tape.
So then we'll do
Scissors.
it. We'll do it on both sides, both corners.
All right.
This is precision
Tear it
right
off.
here.
We'll go to the other side now.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done one of these.
They're really fun and really easy, actually.
Well, and
All
what's
right.
great is most people are going to have this type of stuff around
Right,
the house.
they've already got it.
I think
All
I'm
right,
getting
so now
the
we
idea.
have holes on both sides.
Yes.
We're gonna tape this part
Bringing back memories,
closed.
Dave Williams.
Here, I'll go ahead and
Thank
get you a piece
you.
of tape. There we go.
All right, now we get out the tin foil.
Are you going to make a hat?
Well, you can do that too. I have enough. So if you would like to make a hat after this, then
be out
you
here a
can
while.
go for it. So I brought extra just in case something went wrong. And we'll cut just a little square of it.
Okay.
And now you only have to tape one of the holes that you made.
Oh, I'm up again.
Tape man.
All right.
Right
One
there.
There, yep.
Got tape.
Put one on this side.
Got tape.
All right. So now you can see there's only one hole left. So the last thing you have to do is get a little pin or something and poke just a tiny hole into the tin foil. Super tiny.
That is super tiny.
Wow.
And now what you're supposed to do, this is your completed viewer, you're supposed to then stand with your back to the sun.
The sun's right up there.
So you're
Believe
back.
me. It's behind that
It's
cloud.
somewhere back there. And then you look through the hole you made, and what during the eclipse, obviously we can't see it right now, but when you look through this hole, the little pinhole that you made in the tin foil will reflect the eclipse into that white paper at the bottom of your cereal box. And then you can see it without looking directly at the sun.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And that was quick.
Thank you, Jackie.
That was yeah.
Dave
wants a shot of
They
that.
want to zoom in, yeah.
So there it is. Foil on one side.
Jackie is great with arts and crafts.
I know, and
She's so handy. She produces. She can make pinhole viewers.
I honestly thought it would be more difficult. If I would have attempted to make it, it would have been much more difficult.
Well,
So,
we're just glad you didn't.
Jackie, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yes, it would have been very entertaining. So that's a cheap, easy way to do it at your own house.
Right.
You have
And
foil, a box, and a piece of paper and tape.
So I'm thinking it's going to apply to two people. If you forgot your solar eclipse glasses,
Yes.
or if you have kids and you're worried about that.
Yeah, and this is something that you really don't have to worry about a little
Because
kid.
you're not looking up.
No,
You're looking down.
they're looking down in the bottom of that box the whole time.
Yep.
Awesome. So good tips there. And that's just it. We hope that if nothing else from these couple of hours of watching our broadcast, you learn a little something. And there
That's
you
what we aim for every day.
Definitely. So we are watching the clouds roll in, but there are breaks here and there. We'll continue to watch that, and we'll continue to watch all throughout the low country and see what's going on. But for now, we're going to take a little commercial break, and we'll be back in a few minutes from the Eclipse on a Warship here on the Yorktown.
I'm holding the spot, and we have 6-year-old twins with us. We have toys with us. So we have a beautiful park. We have beautiful waterfront. We couldn't ask for more.
Over the water, everything gets hotter when the sun goes down, yeah.
Now, the really cool thing about being up here on the Yorktown is you can see a lot. And I just looked over at the Charleston Harbor Fish House.
Oh, look at all the people.
Look at all the people.
What a great venue.
Yeah.
What a great venue.
A little lunch up on the deck there and watch the eclipse. Right now we're dealing with a few clouds, but even so, it is going to get dark as night here.
Right.
The street lights will come on. Crickets may start to chirp.
Yeah. Now, my husband was asking me, are the coyotes going to start howling? Have you ever heard that?
Yeah. I mean,
because I have some friends that play soccer out on some of these, soccer fields nearby, and when it gets dark, the coyotes start to howl. So that'll be something interesting.
It's possible. I've heard the animals do some really crazy things.
Yeah,
so.
I've heard that too. So I think that's part of. I mean, I'm so interested in the weather aspect, but I'm interested in the animal aspect as well.
The birds think
and
it's
the
night.
people.
Yeah. Well, the birds don't care if there are clouds or not. They go about their daily routine,
right?
No matter what. And pets do not look up in the sky on a normal day.
Right.
So your dog is not going to look up at the eclipse just because there's an eclipse today. So we don't have to worry about your pets looking up at the eclipse. It's people who are getting out of their normal routine and looking up at the sun, which you don't normally do on a daily basis.
Right, you wouldn't normally do, but you also, don't have an eclipse going on.
You know what I do on a daily basis is I try to tune into the Cleveland Indians and see how they're doing.
Yeah, I know you do.
Cleveland Indians fans. And when I'm not doing that, I'm
cheering
going out to the Joe.
Yeah, cheering on the local team.
That's
Got
right.
to.
River Dogs. Normally they play in the early evening.
Yeah, 5, 6,
5 to
7. Yeah, depending on what day.
Today they're playing about an hour earlier, right after the eclipse concludes. Their game time's 4:05, and they've got the crowd already spilling in because they want to see the eclipse out there.
Which is going to be cool.
That's where we've got ABC News 4's Lindsay Maloney.
Yep.
A group of students from Seoul High School have been working hard the last several months, and today's the big day. Here to talk all about it is senior Chelsea Graham. Chelsea, what are you guys doing today?
Today we're going to be working with a high-altitude balloon with NASA, and we're going to be sending it up into the atmosphere and testing the bacteria and having a live stream online.
What's kind of so important about today, and why are you guys a part of it?
So today we get to get all of our information and data from NASA and for NASA, so that we can learn more about the Earth and the Moon and the Sun and how they all interact with each other and how the eclipses happen.
And then we had talked earlier before, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, a senior from Seoul High School. How special is today for you?
Actually, I am really excited. I feel so honored to be here working with NASA and working with my rest of my kids from my school. We have been given this great opportunity just to come out here and get to learn new things and get to work with the scientists of the future. It's pretty cool.
So the big launch is today at 1:30, and people can watch it. You can watch it on live stream as soon as they launch it. Tell them how can they watch that?
So you can go up on your smartphones at eclipse.stream.live, and you can see the whole thing. We're having a live stream from Oregon and every state in the path of totality down to South Carolina, and it's going to be available to the whole world.
All right, you guys, we'll send it back to you.
Because I'm just so crafty.
All right, thanks, Lindsay.
Yeah, here I am on social media.
Yeah, of course you are. I can't keep this guy off social media.
This is another aspect of what we do, and we're trying to keep people up to date on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. And that's one thing they're doing back in the studio as well. They're monitoring social media. If you have something you want to share, go to abcnews4.com and you can share there.
Yeah.
Or with the abcnews4.com, the ABC News 4 app right on your phone.
Right. See it, send it.
See it, send it.
Yeah.
You can show us your pictures of the eclipse. Maybe you've got an eclipse party going on because
a lot of people do.
Right.
A lot of people do.
There are a lot of people around us not working today.
A lot of people are not working today.
Right. So we want to see your eclipse party pictures.
Yeah. Keep it safe though.
Definitely. So.
And Ashley's back in the studio, and she's kind of monitoring social media.
Yeah, I want to see what she's found so far.
Yeah, let's see.
All
Ashley?
right, yeah, guys, good afternoon. I'm here with Erica Scrippa. This really is the first total eclipse over U.S. skies in the age of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all those social media platforms.
There's a lot of them these days.
Yeah, so many people are just, of course, posting their pictures.
Yes.
And I wanted to show you guys this. This was sent to us by Trident Health this morning. They already have actually had a baby born at Trident Medical Center this morning. They have 4 more expected later today. So they are giving out these little baby onesies to the babies that are born over at Summerville Medical Center and Trident there in North Charleston. So
that's
cute. Really cool to be born on this day. I know our news director, Kathy, her daughter, Quinn, her birthday's today.
There you go.
She's 12 years old. So congratulations to her. A very happy birthday as well. We want to see your pictures. And I know, Erica, we've already received so many into our newsroom over the course of the last, couple of hours or so. We've seen people delivering those solar eclipse parties. They've had moon pies, sun chips, Milky Ways.
We even saw a guy that kind of made his own. It looked like a telescope looking thing with foil and probably kind of like the cereal box idea, something like that.
It's very easy to do, but we want to see your pictures as well. And like Sonia and Dave mentioned, pretty simple to do as well. You just need to download our ABC News 4 mobile app. You can download it for free, upload it there through the app, or you can log on to our website. It's abcnews4.com/send it. All right, we're going to send things over to Chris Nessman. He's got some good news for us this afternoon. Chris?
Hopefully some good news. We are seeing some showers and some clouds. Unfortunately, it is building in, but you will still see the sun pop in and out, so hopefully we get a chance to see the eclipse. In fact, already I know if you look at some of the NASA cams from coastal Oregon, they are starting to show a partial eclipse, and we'll be getting to that point pretty soon here in the low country because we start just after 1 o'clock, 1:16 when we start, and it's 12:52 right now. So if you can see the sun, give it about another 20 minutes. You'll start to see it inch forward. Maximum eclipse, again, is at 2:46. That is the one time where you can pull off those eclipse glasses and still look at the sun. And then, of course, just after 4 o'clock is when all eclipse activity ends. And, of course, once it ends in Charleston, it ends for the country. You got to be out on a ship or a boat out in the ocean to see it to continue because it's no more land. Cloud cover forecast, not looking the best at 1:30, but as we get closer to totality at 2:45, couple of breaks maybe right near the coast. It still doesn't look the best, and then by the time it ends, still not looking the best. So if you really want to see it, go inland up towards Columbia. They look like they have a pretty good forecast. Now we take a look at Futurecast showing the rain. Again, we will be seeing the clouds, but not necessarily the rain because the rain isn't as widespread, though it does show a little bit breaking up again by about 4:15. So like I said, it really depends on where you are, and even some models show it breaking up more than others, so let's hope that those ones are correct. Showers, seeing a lot of rain out to the coast and even some rain up towards the Summerville area. I know folks there are going, all right, clear out, clear out, clear out. Hopefully it does. We're still keeping an eye on that. Closer to the coast, no rain right along the beaches, but you don't have to go too far to start to see it in Folly Beach, getting a little action. And of course, zooming out, Midlands and the upstate looking really good. So let's look at your forecast for now. We'll have a look at your full weather forecast, including a 7-day, a little bit later. Guys?
All right. So the forecast a little cloudy right now, but like Chris said, I mean, even over toward the beach where the clouds are a little thicker, I can see a few breaks.
Yep.
And especially from, say, Mount Pleasant right on over toward West Ashley.
Right.
There's a decent amount of blue sky still out here. And,
right.
And that's all we need right now is a little blue sky.
Right.
Closer to the event, hopefully things clear a little more right overhead.
Yeah, we still got a little time. We were talking, and Chris was talking about it. I mean, 109, we start to see that partial eclipse in some parts of the low country.
Right,
so.
And this is going to be like, the entire thing is like a 3-hour event.
3 hours, yeah, so, yeah. Totality is when you really want to make sure you check it out.
So everybody just go right toward the coast.
Blow the clouds.
Blow them out toward the coast, but right now, take the hint.
It's going to happen either way. Whether it's cloudy or not, it's going to happen.
I had somebody as well say, why don't we go ahead and just push off the moon for a little bit? That's not going to happen. It's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to it either way. We got plenty more coming up from the deck of the Yorktown and all through the low country, so stick with us.
Blinded by the light, wrapped up
Okay, so we've got cameras positioned all throughout the low country because we know some spots will probably see a little bit more sunshine than others.
And longer totality as well.
Yes, and that's where we sent one of our cameras. It's out on Lake Moultrie, and we're really hoping for a good view out there because what did we figure? It's about 2:35 or something like that, totality?
2 minutes, 27 seconds.
Okay, okay.
I have these numbers.
That's impressive. So 227 of totality there, which is one of the longer spots here in the low country.
Oh, there we go. Wow.
So, and notice there is some blue there.
There is, which is great.
That's what we're hoping for. Is
some jet skis, some boats.
To see a little blue, and I think we're all going to see at least a little bit of blue sky during the eclipse, and that's what we want because back behind the blue sky, once it's gone, the sunlight is blocked out.
Right.
All we'll be able to see is outer space.
Which would be awesome.
That's where the stars are.
Yeah.
If it were a perfect optimal day, the first thing we would see is once it got dark enough, we would start to see Venus. Venus would be visible over here in the west. We'd start to see Venus, but it's going to be pretty tough to pick out exact features with the clouds. But I still think we're going to see some pretty cool stars.
And what's going to be cool, Dave, is that we're tracking it across the country.
Yeah.
So we're going to be taking the NASA feed. So we're going to be able to see what it looks like in other parts of the country, maybe where it is clear.
Yep.
So, but we've got one of the best views, just because the 360. Well. And we're the last spot.
We are.
I'm biased. This is a great view because just on any day, this is pretty much a great view.
The last spot in the United States to see the eclipse right here. It's pretty impressive. We can see one side of the boat. Alex Heaton can see the other side of the boat. And she's got some more information for us about what she's found for the eclipse.
Yeah, Alex?
Hey guys, yeah, I'm actually right behind you on the other side of the boat. Hey. Yeah. There you go. But so, we've talked a lot about traffic. You've seen our Bill Burr out on the roads. And one thing I found pretty interesting, we've kind of prepared you pretty much all week long and maybe for 2 weeks or so about road conditions, maybe a lot of people on the roads. If you look out on the Ravenel, you can see traffic is still moving smoothly, pretty much like any other day in Charleston. And if you look out, a thing that I found really cool, I love about the low country, the water, I think a lot of people do. There are a lot of boats out in the harbor today, and it's a great place to watch the eclipse. In my opinion, if you're going to do it, what better place to do it than out on the water? We've seen some dolphins out here, so you can see some boats out here as you move further down in the harbor, some more boats out that way, some more people starting to take their boats out as we near closer to the start of the partial solar eclipse. So more people getting out on the boats. Dave and Sonia showed you that shot earlier, or talked to you rather, about the Charleston Fish House. More people out there eating lunch on the deck out there. And if you look over here, excuse me, sorry guys, I'm getting over a little sickness. But if you look out here, it doesn't look like there are a lot of people out on the deck here of the Yorktown. But in fact, we are almost, if we aren't already there, we are almost at the 3,000 ticket mark. About 30 minutes ago, we were at 2,600. And so they tell me they think we are actually going to get to that 3,000 ticket mark. So we're almost there. Now I want to come over here. I talked to Philippe. He actually lives downtown, so not very far. And he came over here to the Yorktown, not far at all. What made you come over here to the Yorktown?
Okay, I just felt that being here, you had the best views overall to see the eclipse, and also you get the eclipse and you have the bridge right next to it. So it was good. I actually woke up at 6:30 this morning to get tickets just because I've heard this is like a big event that everyone wants to go to. So far I like it, except for the heat, but that's typical Charleston weather. All
right, you staked out a pretty good spot though.
Yeah, we're right in the shade. So right now we're just waiting for everything. But so far it's been great. They've had a lot of NASA scientists here talking, giving us an idea of what's going on. So.
Okay, I have to ask, are you a little bummed out about the clouds?
Look, you can see it looks like that it's coming, but there's still a little bit of hope. It's still blue out there. So
okay, and so I was talking to Dave earlier, and he said one of the most magnificent things in his opinion is that you'll see all of the stars come out. And he said even if we don't get to see the full moment of totality, you'll see all these stars, and it'll be beautiful. What do you think?
I agree. I think just hearing about the different phases of the eclipse, I think even if it's cloudy, we'll still get something, and something's better than nothing. So.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, so yeah, there you go, guys. Even this little bit of clouds here, still that moment of hope for everybody, and so many people out here just looking to see a little bit of that. They traveled from all over. Some people drove all the way here from Canada and are driving right back after they see it. So a lot of people traveling from all over for just this minute 30 moment of totality. Guys, back to you.
Awesome. Thanks,
wow.
Alex.
Driving from Canada. I thought my friend that drove from Connecticut was coming pretty far, but
yeah, so everybody wants to see it, and we've got experts to tell us more about it.
Yeah.
And that's coming up here in just a little bit.
Yep, we're looking forward to it.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say.
We are here on the USS Yorktown, Eclipse on a warship, and speaking of that, so I've noticed it's been filling up, and Alex has been kind of out and about interviewing people, but only about a little over 200 tickets left. So they're capping
3,000.
Yeah, they're capping it at 3,000. So we know there are a lot of people that are here, a lot of people doing various events across the low country to check out the eclipse. And one of the things we've been talking about is traffic.
Yes.
So we're worried about that. So we have a reporter, Bill Burr. He's been monitoring traffic, and he's going to check in with one of our good friends, Trooper Bob. So Bill, Trooper Bob, what do you guys got?
Sonia and Dave, good afternoon from Interstate 26 and Interstate 526. We're standing here right at the big merge, and I'll be honest with you, traffic, at least from our vantage point, looks pretty good. My photojournalist Josh Rogers and I just came from the mile marker 206 at the rest area up there a few minutes ago, and traffic was not bad coming in from Ladson heading into downtown and vice versa. The man that knows everything about the highways is our good friend Trooper Bob Barris with the South Carolina Highway Patrol. He's joining us right now. And Bob, how are things going out there so far today? I know things are okay right here, but what are the rest of the roads like?
Well, it looks like everyone's hunkered down and going to watch this eclipse wherever they're at right now, so that's why you see light traffic. I know they did close the rest area there in Santee because it's filled to capacity, and you'll see a lot more heavier traffic along the beaches, going into the beaches. But right now it looks good. What we expect is obviously afterwards everyone's going to head back home. That's where you're going to see more congestion coupled with the traffic from everyone headed home from work.
Well, I know earlier today when you and I spoke, you and the Highway Patrol were a little concerned because of the cloud cover. You were thinking that maybe some folks may want to leave Charleston and head inland, maybe going to Orangeburg or Columbia. Do you still have concerns that there could be a last-minute dash for folks to head that way?
Maybe some last minute. I did see some earlier when I was driving on the interstate about 7, 8 o'clock. I saw a lot of out-of-state tags, packed cars headed westbound. I'm sure some people made that decision to go and didn't wait till the last minute, and we commend them for that. But obviously, after this event, that's where you're going to see everyone leaving. You know, one thing we know for sure is we know the hotels were booked, rental car companies were booked, so people are here watching this event, and they're going to have to get home.
Bob, how much longer will you be on the roads as well as the rest of the highway patrol here? How much longer do you think you'll have to be on this watch until most folks head out?
Well, we've been out here since Friday, so we're going to be out here until everyone obviously goes home and there's no concern over traffic.
Bob, anything else that you want folks at home or folks at a hotel maybe to watch it? They could be at an Eclipse party right now. Anything you want them to know here as we head closer towards the big solar event and then afterwards?
Well, if you're already stationed wherever you're going to watch the eclipse, please just stay there. You're not going to make it to Columbia in time for the eclipse. So hunker down here and watch it, enjoy it. We want the roadways to be safe for everyone, but we don't want anyone getting hurt. And so hang tight, and then we'll see everyone out.
Sounds good. Trooper Bob Barris with the South Carolina Highway Patrol. Bob, thanks so very much. And we'll keep an eye here on the road conditions. As Bob said, you know, getting closer to the coast, we are seeing more cars out there on the road. Some delays heading towards Sullivan's Island and Isle of Palms. Josh and I are going to head down that way here shortly and keep an eye on the roads, and we'll check in with you here throughout the afternoon right here on ABC News 4. For now, reporting live in Charleston County, I'm Bill Burr. Back to you.
And we're checking in right now on things out on the roads. Just want to mention to you that the pedestrian walkway is closed off on the Ravenel Bridge, and that will stay closed until 4 o'clock. But normal travel lanes, if you're driving in a car, are open and really light in volume, honestly. Trooper Bob did mention these. Still some rest areas closed down. Northbound, southbound 95 at SC6 in Santee, 26 in Calhoun County, and 26 in Orangeburg County have some of those rest areas blocked off as well. We're going to switch over to Waze and check in. If you're headed out on Dorchester Road in the next few minutes, right around Michaux Parkway, still seeing really slow speeds from an earlier fuel spill. Speed 7 miles an hour on Dorchester Road. You can see some red on Michaux Parkway as well. A little bit of a backup on International Boulevard headed toward 526, speeds under 10 miles an hour there. Let's take a live look and see how things are moving on 26, mile marker 203 in the Latson area. Pretty light in volume, conditions not too bad out here on the roadways. That's the latest from here. We'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Erica.
Yeah.
Thanks, Erica.
We've got the traffic moving by on the Ravenel Bridge right now, and it seems to be moving along just fine. So we've been watching that, and we'll continue to watch it. And it's a good thing I'm not out there driving, because the only thing I can focus on is the blue sky up over top of the Ravenel Bridge. So we're hoping for some blue sky, and I think we'll have some here and there.
Starting to see a little more,
Yeah,
a little more, some patches.
It is still going to be one of the most impressive things that you will ever see in your life, and I can't wait for it. It's coming up in a little over an hour, and we've got plenty more coming up with our coverage all throughout the Low Country.
Absolutely. So stay tuned.
And I'm Dean Stevens down at the Battery. Coming up, we have met people from far and wide and from different galaxies. In fact, we met Darth Welder.
This is it. This happens every 380 years. Yeah. You know, I got a couple hours I can drive up. It's more like 8, but.
So are we saying we don't really feel confident we're going to be here in the next 380 years?
I don't think so. And if so, it would be a little dusty. Yeah, wouldn't be good.
Did you think he was nuts when he wore the Stormtrooper helmet?
No, I'm used to it.
Well, there's actually more behind this. Now, I know a welding helmet will do what these glasses do. And down in Florida, you can't get these glasses.
Yeah.
I tried a million places. So I'm like, you know what, welders' hoods do the exact same thing. But I come from construction. I did for 40 years before I retired. And there was a thing when I had my welding hoods, every one of them had to be painted or decorated. So I says, hey.
Kind of like a hockey helmet.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's not all. Coming up, we'll talk to a couple who tied the knot on Eclipse 2017.
You've been out here in the sun, aren't you hot?
Getting a little bit. Go ahead. All right, welcome back, and we are here on the USS Yorktown, Eclipse on a warship, and we are taking a live picture right now from NASA from Oregon. So you can start to see that partial eclipse there in the NASA video. So that's what we're going to start to see here in the low country here very shortly. So something we have to look forward to here in the low country. So, but I want to talk with the NASA expert here, and joining me now, Gordon Chin. Yeah, I got it. So you came all the way from
the Washington, D.C. area in Maryland. With, Goddard Space Flight Center is right outside of D.C. in Greenbelt, Maryland.
So why did you feel it was important to come here to Charleston?
Oh, well, you could watch an eclipse by yourself, but I think having this event, this full eclipse in the continental United States, where a large majority of the people in the United States can actually view it, and to be with a community of people and to share this once-in-a-lifetime experience it's great. So how can you not be here?
Right, absolutely.
And Charleston is a wonderful city.
Have you been to Charleston before?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I've enjoyed your fine dining.
Of course, a little fine dining after the eclipse, right?
Yes.
So did you give a talk here, or are you giving one?
I've given one this morning.
So what did you talk about?
I work on a satellite that's orbiting the moon right now called the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. It was launched June 2009, so it's been working 8 years now, and it's still working. And look, listen, at full eclipse, LRO will point its camera to the Earth to look at the shadow. So at the full eclipse, you guys should just wave, because it's going to take a picture of us.
Cool. So what does this mean? This event mean for you?
I've been working now on LRO for over 10 years now, and there's so many things about being here at the Yorktown. By the way, Yorktown has an incredible linkage to the moon, because one of its last missions was to recover the Apollo 8 astronauts from the Pacific Oceans. This was the aircraft that plucked the capsule from the water and the astronauts to safety after the Apollo 8 mission, which was the first mission that orbited men around the moon. And that was about 49 years ago. So this was the carrier that has a link to the moon. So this is a historic site to be at.
Very cool. Very cool.
There's one other thing about the Apollo 8 mission that you should know about. 1968 was when it was launched. It was launched December 21st. So that picture of the Earth sunrise was taken by the Apollo 8 astronauts. And that picture is an iconic picture of the Earth rising above the moon, the Earthrise. It was taken by the Apollo 8 astronauts, and that became the hit of that year.
Very cool. So this is a big event. For some of us, this is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime event. If there were, I'll give you two things that you would either want to make sure people enjoy, or to tell people as we get closer and closer to totality here, right around 2:45, depending on where you are.
Yes.
What would you tell them?
Eye protection, most of all. Don't look at the sun without adequate eye protection. The second is, if we could have a clear sky, take off those glasses when you have totality, because you could see things that you cannot see with the glasses on. For example, the corona around the sun, which would be as bright as the full moon when the rest of the place is dark. So look for that.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sonia.
So nice to meet you, and thanks for making time for us. And I'm sure we'll see you around.
Happy.
We're all looking forward to the big event.
Yes, we'll see you at the totality.
Yeah. We'll see you in a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and we're back after this.
Hey guys, thanks so much. So many different landmarks people are flocking to around the Low Country. I mean, where do you want to go? The Yorktown, you could go to the Joe. How about the Battery? Certainly one of the landmarks of Charleston. It will be packed today. People coming from all over the country just to be here. We've talked to a couple different sets of people from Florida who made the drive up 95. They said this was absolutely the best place. The Battery is certainly a perfect place to say, I do. And that is exactly what we found earlier today when we came down to White Point's garden.
So we had originally planned for September, but I really didn't have a special day in mind, and photography is one of my passions, and I really wanted to photograph the eclipse. And so I was like, hey, why not, mark the day and do a photographic kind of journey and invite family and watch the eclipse and, hey, get married.
And as a loving husband, you said, that's a great idea.
Whatever she wants, she gets. So it sounds like fun.
Long and happy marriage with that attitude.
Oh, perfect. I'm glad to hear that. I'm not saying do it. It's all up to her. She developed it. It came up to her. Ideas, everything's come up with her right up to the arrival on the bicycle today. She came up with that idea last night. So it's
perfect.
That was it. It was a perfect wedding that she just kind of went by the seat of her pants, and that's what we had.
Total eclipse of the heart. I think it's a coming together of man and woman. Reporting from the Battery, chasing Eclipse 2017, Dean Stevens, ABC News 4.
Talking?
Yeah, this cell service is very iffy here. We've had a problem ever since like 7.
Check.
All right, so we've been talking to some of the folks out here, and the eclipse is underway here in South Carolina.
Yeah, we were able to put on our glasses, and you could just barely see it through the clouds.
You can just barely see the sun. You can't tell that the moon is moving in front of it.
Well,
Yes.
You can just
But
barely
you
see the
can
sun.
see a little bit of a glimmer, and I'm hopeful this little clearing keeps working a little closer to the coast.
Yeah, I was just looking at radar. It does look like the activity is either offshore or inland.
Right.
So we're kind of in a good place right now if we can clear some of the clouds out.
And somebody's going to see it.
Yes.
Maybe not everybody, but we knew that coming in.
Yep.
Because I've been saying the whole time we're going to get a mix of sun and clouds, about a 30 to 40% chance of a thunderstorm.
Yep.
You've been saying the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, it is August in the low country.
Our
after all.
message has been very consistent, and that is typical August weather.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe just a few less clouds on a typical August day, but in
Right.
general, I mean,
Right.
this is what's to be expected in August.
Yeah.
But the excitement is here no matter what. It's going to get dark as night no matter what. The street lights are going to come on. The crickets will probably start to chirp.
Yeah.
And what I was thinking about last night is in the movie The Theory of Everything. They actually almost exactly 100 years ago, they proved Albert Einstein's theory of relativity during a solar eclipse. It was in May of 1919. And
Right.
before that, a lot of scientists thought Albert Einstein was a hack.
Right.
They thought he didn't know what he was talking about. Bending light by gravity. No way can you do that. But they proved it.
Which is awesome.
They proved it with the eclipse in 1919. Astronomers set out to prove the fact, and they actually did it. And there was a little bit of an argument because Newton had something very similar from the 1600s, but he didn't make it quite as drastic as what Einstein was thinking.
Right.
And it verified exactly with what Einstein was thinking.
Which is awesome.
Over 100 years ago, and we can't, it's hard for us to fathom.
And we were talking about this earlier. It's hard to fathom, but like so many pieces have to come together.
Yes.
For us to get a total solar eclipse, for there to be one to begin with.
Yes.
And then for us to be in the path. So
Yes.
it's pretty amazing.
Well, and
if you think about it.
Let's think about some of the things that have to happen. The sun is always there, so we don't have to
Right.
worry about that.
Yeah.
But the moon has to be in the new moon phase, which
Right.
is causing some higher and lower than normal tides, because it always does during the new moon phase.
Right.
Nothing extra high
right.
or extra low, just the normal new moon phase.
Right.
And then the moon has to be close enough to the Earth for its shadow to make it all the way down to the Earth.
Right.
Sometimes it happens, and that's an annular eclipse where the shadow doesn't make it all the way to the Earth.
Right.
But everything is coming together perfectly.
Which is
And the
amazing.
track goes from Oregon to right here in Charleston.
And the last time it went coast to coast, 99 years.
Unbelievable.
And then the last time we saw a total eclipse in Charleston was 1970.
Yeah. So it's been
So
a
for some
long
people, this,
time.
well, some people say, well, they say it's a once in a lifetime event. For some people, it is going to be. And the
Absolutely.
next eclipse won't be viewable here. The total eclipse won't be viewable in
the one in
South Carolina.
2024, no,
Yeah.
it's going to be, we're going to be able to see that from Texas to Cleveland, Ohio. So if we all want to crash at my mom's house outside of Cleveland, Ohio.
I'm going to tell your mom you invited everybody.
That's fine. She won't mind. She's
used to this.
She's got room. We can camp out in the backyard. But I've got to tell you, Cleveland, Ohio in the beginning of April is not necessarily the nicest place to be. So
They have some of that white stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
Part of the reason
that's
why
a
you
good
came down
possibility.
here.
That's a good possibility.
And
But
cold stuff.
I'm really optimistic based on what I'm seeing right now. It looks like the rain's staying away. There are breaks in the clouds, and it's going to get dark as night. We're going to see the stars somewhere in the sky. It's just really going to be impressive.
Look at that. You can see the...
If you can't tell
we
how
can see on the
excited
double.
I am.
Yeah, I know. You're excited. It's cool. It's cool.
It is really cool. And we've got different viewpoints all throughout the low country. We've seen out at Lake Moultrie. We've seen on I-26, Bill's keeping an eye on the traffic. We've got Lindsay at the Joe. And we also have
Caroline's been out at IOP.
And that's where she is right now. So I think we're going to go ahead and get a report from Caroline Balchunas and find out what's going on the Isle of Palms. And that truly is the last place to see it in the United States.
It's not your typical Monday here out on the Isle of Palms. As you can see, there are tons of crowds. It looks more like the 4th of July, but everyone is here for the total eclipse. Lots of people coming from all over, out of towns, locals. Where are you guys coming from?
We're coming from Baltimore and New York City.
Wow, are you coming specifically for this event?
Specifically for the eclipse.
Yes. So what exactly are you looking forward to the most? Of course, everybody has a different idea of what they think the eclipse is going to be like.
Actually, I think it's going to be complete darkness where we're going to be able to see some stars in the middle of the afternoon.
Not your typical day at the beach.
No, definitely not.
Do you have your eclipse glasses?
We do. We have 8 pairs. We have 3 for sale if anyone wants to buy. So just let us know. Text us. Tweet us at DJ Behoff.
Something to experience for the whole family.
Absolutely. Is this something you guys have been planning for a while?
For about 5 months.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, enjoy those few minutes of totality. And they are not alone. A lot of people, their eyes are going to be on the sky for this incredible celestial event. This is something that the city says is booming, been a huge economic boost to tourism. They say all their parking lots are full, and everyone will just be counting down until the big event. Reporting on Isle of Palms, I'm Caroline Balchunas.
Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche, another runner in the night. Blinded by here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's all right.
In this slideshow. Oh. Well, I felt like I
doubt it. No, it does actually.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Did it work?
Yeah, it works.
more than this.
Oh, yeah. What did you get? Oh, no. Wiener.
This is awesome. Look what this guy's doing.
What?
Yep. It's so cool. It started and we can see it now.
Looking up at the sun, glasses on. So we do still have some clouds up there, but we had enough of a break where you could actually look and you could see the moon just starting to move in front of the sun. So
Alex, our reporter, said that I guess toward the end of our other hit that like that's when the clouds started to break, and everybody looked up in their glasses and went, ooh.
Yep. So
that's what we're going for.
And this is what I've been thinking all along. You've been thinking the same thing. We'd have some breaks here and there, and it's going to be better than any Hollywood movie that you've ever seen before.
Yeah,
and
this is awesome.
I'm sure we're getting lots of good pictures. I heard we've got some good pictures rolling in out of Bulls Bay up around Georgetown, and we've also got Ashley Blackstone is monitoring some social media for us.
Yes, let's see what she's got.
All right, hey guys, thanks. So yes, Ashley and I have been keeping a close eye. We want you to continue to send in your photos. We've gotten some pretty cool ones so far today. The Ravenel Bridge has been pretty quiet. Kind of been waiting for traffic to get busier. It hasn't quite happened, so that's not a bad thing. John Bruce earlier this morning had his moon pie. Got this one here. Got a little picture here. It might be the college. We got a cat happening. Let's see what else. We also have, let's see, we have Interstate. If you're driving, just want to remind you to not stop, keep it moving. Don't look up at the sun as well while you're driving. We do have some rest areas closed off in Calhoun County, as well as in Santee. This is a picture someone sent in. First shot of the sun at 11:20, tuning up their gear. That one's pretty neat. Also checking in here, that's one from really, really far away, still pretty small. If you take a picture with your cell phone, that's kind of what it's going to look like, really far away. You're not going to get a glam shot or a close-up. Got some more here as well. So we want to keep seeing your photos. You can send it in through our app, see it, send it feature, or send it in through our website as well. So we'll send things right back over to you guys.
Hey, thanks, guys. You know, I'll tell you, I think this is probably one of the coolest solar events we'll be seeing in a while. At least for me, it's probably the coolest since Venus crossed in front of the sun, and that was way back in 2012. So it's not very common that we get things like this. So I hope you get out and enjoy it. Taking a live look, everyone hanging out on the USS Yorktown. The Ravenel traffic still moving pretty good, so that is a good sign. We're at 89 degrees right now. And again, the weather, it's not all-out war, but she's certainly not an ally right now, Mother Nature, as far as we do have a good chunk of showers around the Summerville area. So I hope, folks in Summerville, that it clears out in time for you to see at least part of the eclipse, if not hopefully totality. Then we're seeing a couple other hot spots. Jamestown's certainly been seeing some showers today. And then around Charleston proper, nothing yet. But again, we still could see some here and there and some of those heavier clouds moving. Like I said, as long as they're like the light, thin clouds, or at least you get pockets in and out, that's kind of what we're all hoping for. And we zoom out for the rest of the state. Again, the Midlands looking pretty good, as well as the upstate. In fact, only it's the high Appalachians that are kind of getting more what we're seeing as far as those pop-up thunder showers. So our extended forecast, again, you get past today. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, not looking too bad, 30% chance. But then Thursday, we actually get a cold front. So this is looking past the eclipse when you have to go back to reality. Thursday's going to be stormy. Friday, we're going to be seeing some of those lingering showers. But the weekend, not looking too bad. Now, I will say there, you could put a little asterisk for the weekend as far as we could see some tropical development that would bump those rain chances up. But that's still a couple of days out. In the meantime, weather not looking too bad. Like I said, today, hopefully, we'll just see more of those clouds clear out. We're going to have a look at more weather, but let's toss it back over to Dave and Sonia.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
So I think you and I know, and we're so focused on like the weather right now, and we're definitely seeing more blue. We've been able to see that partial has already started.
Yep.
And we're definitely getting enough breaks to where we can see it. Make sure you wear your glasses. That's a must if you're going to look up at the sun.
Definitely. And we're hoping for the best with the weather, but it is what it is. We're going to deal with what we've got, and it's going to be a spectacle no matter what.
But that's cool about why we're on part of why we're on TV, so people can see what it looks like in other parts of the country. And for some parts, totality has already started.
Yeah. So we're going to take a look at some of the other areas that are seeing the eclipse, and we've got plenty more coming up from the Yorktown and all throughout the Low Country. We want to keep you covered. If it's not at your house, we'll bring it right into your house.
You can watch it from the couch.
There's nothing I can do, a total eclipse.
All right, so we took a little break from looking up at the eclipse, and it's filtered through some clouds, but that's the cool thing about the sun.
It's still cool, you can still see it.
Yeah, well, and I have to think back to last night. It was just absolutely a gorgeous sunset last night, and the only reason it was a gorgeous sunset was because we had clouds.
Right.
Clouds do amazing things to the sun's rays. They bend them, they reflect them, they refract them, and we get just brilliant colors that you don't see in the sky any other time.
So the clouds are not a terrible thing.
No, and
not at all.
We'll just have to wait and see what the total eclipse is going to give us in, let's see, almost exactly an hour.
Oh, okay.
It's 1:43 right now.
Wow.
So almost exactly an hour.
And there are definitely more people out here on the Yorktown.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not as packed as we kind of thought it could be.
No.
But there's definitely a good crowd. So
yes. And we're going to keep an eye on the crowd. We're going to keep an eye on the weather. We're gonna do all that. But Chris Nessman took a look back at some of the eclipses that we've seen in the past here in Charleston, and he's got a little bit more coming up for us.
It was such a neat experience. I was in kindergarten on Johns Island, and it was a Saturday.
Lish Thompson of the Charleston County Public Library remembers the eclipse of 1970 very well.
My father said, well, look, you can see in the back of the windshield of our car, you can watch it here. And so we all just looked at it through the windshield, and you could see the reflection as it passed over. And it became dark, and it was real quiet. The birds stopped chirping.
Being in the path of totality for any eclipse is an uncommon experience for most cities. Professor John Hackala says that's because eclipse paths typically aren't very wide.
Just kind of using this as an estimate, I took this path from the beginning until the end, and I just kind of estimated, and it looks like that this covers about 0.3% of the Earth.
But eclipses seem to like Charleston. The holy city is in the path for 3 within a 100-year period: 1970, 2017, and 2052. Hackala says this isn't by chance. It's caused by solar and lunar orbital cycles called Saros cycles.
So in other words, when an eclipse occurs, it turns out that conditions will be right for a similar eclipse to occur after about 18 years and 11 days. And so your chances go up if you've been in a place where you saw an eclipse previously.
Charleston happens to be in the path of several cycles, which is why we have several total solar eclipses within a relatively short period of time. Working for you, I'm Chris Nestman.
All right, so Chris Nessman with a little bit more on Charleston's eclipse history, and we're going to get a little bit more about all of the eclipse history from Dr. Terrier. Dr. Terrier, glad to have you here.
Hey, my pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so you were saying this is your first total solar eclipse.
It is my first time witnessing a total solar eclipse, so I'm just as excited as anybody else out here.
Now tell us what you do at NASA.
I'm the chief technologist at NASA, so what that means is I help the leadership team to decide how to invest our money to create the new science and technology that we need for exploration of space, and that provides the benefits for us right here on Earth.
Okay, so what do you hope to learn from this solar eclipse here in Charleston today?
Yeah, that's a great question. So turns out, this has been the first time in 99 years that we've had a solar eclipse transit the entire continental U.S. And what that means is that we can observe it at each point along for a totality of well over an hour and a half. And you may know we're going to partner with our Coast Guard friends. We're launching balloons off the coast, so we'll even get to see it with the folks from the College of Charleston out in the Atlantic. So that lets us observe the corona, the atmosphere around the sun, for a longer period, which is really vital to our understanding of space weather and how that interacts with our weather here on Earth.
Now, do you have any idea of the number of scientists that you have launched across the country?
We've got a pretty big team deployed at several locations across the country. We've got a total of like 11 spacecraft that are watching this, both looking at the sun, looking at the Earth, and we've got no less than 50-some balloons, high-altitude balloons, and over 3 aircraft, at least 3 aircraft that are deployed across the country as well.
Now, for the novice folks sitting at home that have never seen an eclipse and really don't know what to expect, so we've already started with the partial eclipse. We saw a little break in the clouds, put on the glasses, looked up, saw the moon starting to transit the sun. What should folks start to expect in this area, say over the next half hour to hour as we move closer to totality?
Yeah, so, and we have to remind everybody to always use your glasses if you're going to look at this time. The only time we can look is when it's completely obscured during totality for those minutes or two. So yeah, we're going to see it's already taken a bite starting at kind of the 2 o'clock position.
I like how you say that, a bite.
It literally looks like Pac-Man munching away, right? And we're going to see that continue gradually over the next hour. And as it gets closer to fully covering the moon, covering the disk of the sun, we'll start to notice the temperature dropping, the conditions around us getting darker and darker like twilight. And what's cool is about our location, we'll be able to see that eclipse shadow approaching from the west, from across the harbor. So it'll actually start to sunset, which is actually this shadow coming towards us. And then as that overtakes us, really moving at 1,500 miles an hour, really moving fast, right? We'll be
Mach 1.5.
Almost Mach 2, exactly. We'll be, once we're inside the shadow itself, we'll kind of see that sunset at 360 degrees all around us. So that's going to be really spectacular.
Well, and that just made me think of something else, because a normal sunset, we can only see 180 degrees because it's sinking on the horizon.
That's right. So exactly that effect that you would see from the sun being obscured as it goes to the horizon, essentially the moon's going to create that obscuration 360 around us.
Now, were you here last night?
I was here last night, yeah.
So did you happen to catch the sunset last night?
I did, and it was beautiful. It was spectacular. This is, by the way, a beautiful location from which to view this, and I call this the grand finale, right? It's like fireworks. We get to see it. It's everything in the United States. So yeah, and this is one of those cases where obviously we get to do this great science, and from NASA and the science perspective, this is an unprecedented opportunity. But I think for all of us, just all the people watching, it really is a tremendous, potent psychological reminder of just this majestic celestial choreography of orbital mechanics and how dependent we are on Earth in the relationship between our moon and our sun and our Earth, and how we all depend on that.
And the fact that we're going to be lined up
precisely
with everything.
Exactly.
Now, I do have one last question for you. We've got some pretty spectacular things here on the Earth, some pretty spectacular terrestrial places like the Grand Canyon, Victoria Falls. How can you compare this eclipse to some of the things we already have on Earth?
Yeah, so as you said, though, this is one of those cases where that lineup occurs so rarely, right? So you can go out to the Grand Canyon, as spectacular as it is, at will. This is not our show or our choice. This is nature deciding on this event. And so it literally is a once-in-a-lifetime event.
Well, Dr. Terrier, pleasure. You're welcome to come talk science with me anytime.
I'd love to do that.
That was great. Enjoy the show, my friend.
I will. You too.
All right. So there we go. That's some great information on the eclipse and what you can expect to see over the next half hour, 45 minutes as we move toward totality. I am even more geeked the closer we get to this. Like I say, I've been doing my research, and it's going to be something spectacular that is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. So you've seen the Grand Canyon, you haven't seen an eclipse. So we've got plenty more coming up. Just hoping for some more blue skies, and they're coming. So hopefully we get more of that within the next hour. Plenty more coming up from the Yorktown and throughout the Low Country. Hey, Dominique, so my brother just went through totality, and he kind of described it really cool. He's in Rexburg, Idaho, which was just, they saw totality like, what, 10 minutes ago? So he said, I asked him if he'd be willing to do a phone interview, like to kind of describe it and kind of prep people for what it's like if we wanted to throw that in there last minute, or if you're content with what we have.
apparently you can see it right now because everybody's looking up. Of course, I don't have my glasses right here. You look for me, okay? Does it look cool right now?
Oh.
I just tried to look a minute ago, and this just
Your turn.
makes a good point. Makes a good makes a good point.
Make sure to have your turn,
Yes,
Sonia.
okay.
Make sure to have your eclipse glasses when you look up at the sun. Notice I'm not looking at the sun right now. I'm looking at the camera lens, so I don't need to have those glasses on at this point. So
See you later, Dave.
I know. I'm not too worried about looking up at the eclipse right now. I just saw it a few seconds ago, but it's really moving across the sun, and it's gonna gradually.
There's Onda.
Yeah. So you see it in Onda, and you see it throughout the Low Country, and it's going to start to get a little bit cooler here because we're not getting the intense
As much solar
sun.
radiation.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it'll continue to cool down through the afternoon, and I expect about a 5 to 10 degree temperature drop. I do have a thermometer set up over here, and I'm going to be watching that temperature, especially right after totality, about 10-15 minutes after.
Right, because that's when I think the atmosphere will start to catch up and to the total darkness.
Yes.
So yeah,
not sure exactly where we're going next.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. We can talk a little bit more, but we talk about we've been doing some research, and you know, some areas that saw total eclipses have seen as much as a 15 degree drop. But like you said, here we're thinking we're going to do about a 5 to maybe 10 degree temperature drop. But yeah, it's going to be cool. You've got your two sensors, one in the shade, one in the sun. I've got a little handheld thermometer, so we're going to watch that. But something else we're watching, because all these people came to the Low Country to watch this, traffic.
Oh.
That's where we're going to go.
Okay.
Yeah, let's check traffic right now.
All right, thanks, Sonia and Dave. So things really haven't been bad on the roadways really all morning long. Just a couple of broken down vehicles to tell you about at the moment. One of those 526 westbound, a right lane is blocked approaching the Don Holt Bridge. Second one we're tracking on 26 eastbound right at Montague Avenue. That's exit 214. Look at these drive times. They're looking great on 26. If you're just hitting the road from Summerville to downtown or downtown to Summerville, that stretch only going to take you 21 minutes. And then if you're traveling on 526 eastbound or westbound from Mount Pleasant to West Ashley or West Ashley to Mount Pleasant, 20 minutes or less for you. Let's take a live look and see how things are moving out there as you head out the door. If we could take a live look out there and check in 26 at Ashley Phosphate. You just saw those drive times. Things still very quiet in those westbound and eastbound lanes. Send things back to you guys.
Okay.
All right, so things are looking great here. Sonia's checking out the eclipse right now. It's starting to move across, and every time we look up, we have these on.
Yes.
Make sure.
A must. If not, we've got the pinhole viewer.
The pinhole viewer.
I don't know if Jackie has that, but yeah, she made one of those earlier. So if you watch that, cereal box, white paper, some scissors, some tape. Very easy.
Well, and really things have worked out in a best case scenario here because we are getting some clouds, but we're also able to see some breaks in the clouds where we can look up and see the eclipse.
Right.
And I was so afraid maybe we wouldn't get to see anything, but we're seeing.
Well, we're
some
already
of it.
getting some breaks.
Yeah.
And so that may be the case. And some of my friends are texting me saying, "Oh no, it looks
here.
cloudy where I am right now." But I think with the traffic, I wouldn't risk getting on the road at this point. I would definitely stay where you are.
Yep.
And you're hopefully going to get some breaks.
Yep.
And, you know, if you're watching at home, you're going to get to see it all these other places. That's almost kind of best case scenario.
And you don't need the eclipse glasses at home.
You don't need the eclipse glasses
if you're watching
at home,
on TV.
And you don't need to deal with traffic.
And you're in the air conditioning. Yeah.
And you have food.
Yeah.
Drinks.
Yeah.
And it's not terribly hot, but it's pretty warm out here.
Nice breeze. I'm not complaining.
No, it is August.
It is August. Well, and we've been saying that too. So, who else knows that it's August is Caroline Balchunas. She's out on the Isle of Palms taking a look at what we've got going there with the crowd, with the eclipse, and she's going to let us know a little bit more.
The partial eclipse has started here out on the Isle of Palms. It's really hard to tell actually, but it just seems like a cloudy day. But one thing you can see clearly is this sand sculpture right behind me, and the artist is joining us right now, David Burt. So tell us, what was obviously we know the inspiration behind it, but what all went into this? It looks really intense.
Well, it's not just me. There were about 10 of us out here from my architecture firm. I've worked with LS3P. A lot of architectural hands got their hands on this. I think they did a great job. We participate in the Piccolo Spoleto sand sculpting competition every year. We won it this year, and we won it last year too. So they called us and said, will you do a sculpture for us for this? And we said, sure.
So how long did this take?
We started at 8:30 this morning and we just finished. So what time is it?
Well, if you had an aerial view, what would people see?
Well, so what you see in the middle is a logo that the Isle of Palms developed. That's their Eclipse logo, and it says Isle of Palms at the front. We added in the north, south, east, west direction, you can kind of see the letters on the ground, the direction that the moon's traveling and how it will travel and pass in front of the sun. And that's where the eclipse is right in the middle of the path. So
fantastic. What are you looking forward to most in the next hour?
A beer.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm looking forward to the eclipse. It's going to be awesome. I just hope it does clear up. It looks like it might, so we'll see.
Right. Well, we're all going to be in total darkness at some point, but the moment is roughly an hour away, and months of planning. It all comes down to this here today. Reporting on Isle of Palms, I'm Caroline Balchunas.
Well, plenty of people out there on Isle of Palms.
Yeah, she says months of planning, and she's right.
Months
and
some
months.
People,
some
years.
people, yeah.
Yeah. Because we know when these are coming. The next one I'm already planning for 2024, April 9th. I'll be at Mom's house.
Your mom's house. Is she going to make you camp in the backyard, or are you going to stay in the house?
She might make me camp in the backyard. Cleveland in April.
You said Lorraine. Lorraine's
the place to be.
The place to be.
Sweet Lorraine. All right, we got plenty more coming up and lots of facts about the eclipse, so you'll want to stick with us.
And I'm Nate Stevens at the Joe. Take a look at the line. Stretches all the way back down to Brittlebank Park. Thousands coming to see the eclipse. These fine folks are from Philadelphia?
Yep, Philadelphia.
And you came down here not to, get away from nice, cool weather, but to really enjoy the eclipse. Why Charleston?
We were feeling a little too comfortable, so we thought we'd come down here.
Have a great time. So a lot of people, where are you from?
Charleston.
Where are you from?
Florida.
What part?
Fort Lauderdale.
You come here just for the eclipse?
Yes.
That's awesome. So as you see, a lot of people coming.
Walterboro.
You came all the way from Walterboro. How about that? You find them all right here in line at the Joe. Coming up, we're going to hear from an optometrist what he has to say about looking into the sun. Back after this.
Well, Sonia, it's looking a little bit better here in the low country where we are in the Charleston Harbor on the Yorktown. I know some folks, like back in Summerville, they're seeing a few more clouds and
some rain.
But the beauty of it is we're going to bring you the pictures not only from here, we're bringing them all across the country.
Right.
So that you can see the eclipse no matter what. NASA even has some observation points up over any clouds. So we're guaranteed to see it on TV.
Which is great.
Yes.
And it's great to see it from different places too.
Yeah, and we're gonna see some pretty cool stuff. I don't think anyone is going to see nothing because it's going to turn pitch black here. Black as night.
Yeah,
because it will be like night.
Right, and let's see, what time is it right now? It is 2:04.
So it's coming up within about 40 minutes.
40 minutes, yep.
About 40 minutes, it'll be dark as night. And we've got somebody else on the Yorktown here keeping tabs on the crowd, which continues to grow. Alex Heaton has a little bit more from this growing crowd on the Yorktown's deck.
Which one are you going to pick?
I don't know. I'm live now, so I don't know. You know, guys, hey, Dave, so yeah, parts of our job, we don't often get to enjoy these things, but this has been great because we actually get to enjoy it. I've talked with a lot of people who were kind of worried about actually getting to see it, and the clouds have kind of moved through. They kind of come and go a little bit, and you don't get to see it for, thank you so much, Chris, right? Chris Half. He was joking with me earlier, trying to go back and forth with names, and this is Chris Half. He is with Patriots Point. We're going to talk a little bit about what they have going on here today. And first of all, before we get to that, I want to talk about how many people you're almost at capacity, right?
We are. We're about 50 shy of 3,000, and honestly, by the time we've spoke, since I got that last number, we probably could have hit that. So we got the 3,000 number we were looking for, and you can see throughout the day, the deck, the people have been dispersed throughout the museum, and now they're all coming up on the deck. You hear in the oohs and ahs. Just a few minutes ago, maybe 45 minutes ago, people were pretty tired. It's hot, they're thirsty. And now you're hearing ooh and ahs and extra excitement. So we've got these nice Eclipse on a Warship glasses, the Channel 4 logo here. We've got this indirect viewing device here. And look at this thing. As the clouds go through, the sun comes out, and the sun goes through these holes, and then it goes onto this white piece of plywood down there. And the idea is, as the moon comes, it will block the circles. And just as like that, the clouds came in. But yeah, we're going to keep our eye on this thing. We don't really know what it'll do. We have a good idea, but the eclipse doesn't come around so much, so we got a lot to learn here. And we're looking forward to watching it through 246. I think just like that, the sun's coming back out. We can try to take another peek here. Yep. We've got about 45 minutes left.
All right, now I do want to talk about some other things because you guys have a person with an IMAX camera out here. You got a lot of stuff going on. Tell me everything that's out here.
Oh man, we had 5 NASA scientists, or I should say subject matter experts. Douglas Thierry probably was the best of those as the chief technology officer for all of NASA. So that was pretty cool by itself. But then we also had the chair from the University of North Carolina's Physics and Astronomy Department. Each one of those people gave a public presentation for about 30 minutes, then had a meet and greet. They've been walking around with little science NASA Ask Me a Question logos. We've had this indirect viewing device. We have TV stations and the radio stations from all over the country. We've got 28 different aircrafts, 3 warships, a Vietnam experience, veterans everywhere, and 3,000 of your closest friends from all over the world here to watch the eclipse on a warship.
All right.
So we've had a heck of a day, and we've got 45 more minutes to see the total eclipse.
All right, thank you so much. And then where did my friend Amanda go? Amanda, you guys got to see this because girls will love this. This is Amanda. She is an optometrist. Of course, we have to have one of those on hand. She is from Memphis, but you were on vacation in Tampa.
Yes, and as you know, Memphis had a really great show. They had almost totality, like 97%, so I was a little bit bummed that I was vacationing in Tampa, so I had to make the drive up here just to hopefully see totality if the clouds will cooperate.
Now, hang on one second, Amanda. Dan, we have to show everybody this, the dog. The dog has glasses. We've been talking about this all day, everybody, and I happen to walk by right now, so you had to see the dog. All right, but Amanda, the best part about Amanda's day today, she has her nails done, and they are Eclipse nails, so tell us about your nails.
Well, of course, I didn't make the whole drive from Tampa here in one day, so I have a friend who lives in Jacksonville, Florida, so last night I just hung out with her. We went and got our nails done, and I said, you know, I think I could do nothing better other than get an eclipse nail. So she asked me, she said, "You want me to paint what on that?" And I said, you heard what I said. So I have eclipse nails, and as you can see, it's a totality for being here in Charleston. So.
All right, that's perfect. Thank you so much. All right, guys, you've heard it. Everybody here, and like Chris said, 3,000 of your closest friends from all over Canada, lots of people from Florida, Greensboro, North Carolina, and some just across the bridge from downtown Charleston. So everybody here hoping to miss the clouds, and they have done just that. It has been beautiful here. So we are just about 45 minutes or so from totality, and we're hoping we can avoid the clouds then. Sonia, Dave, back to you.
Yeah, so people from all over, a dog with eclipse glasses. There was a Great Dane.
Yeah, that dog was awesome.
And some eclipse special nails done for the event.
Did you get your nails done?
I did not get my nails done.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But that was impressive.
Yeah. So there's a story to be told everywhere, whether there's clouds or whether there's clear sky. It's truly a historic event, which we haven't seen in years. And some people have never seen, like you and I.
Right.
And NASA scientists.
Right. That was hilarious.
Yeah, Dr. Terrier.
I bet he's so excited.
He is.
You know, so for us, that's, you know, when we have a big weather event, you know, that's how we feel. For him, that's how he feels. I mean, we're pretty geeked out about this as well. But can you, that's just crazy. I bet he was so excited.
He was really excited. And we're watching the sun, or the moon, move across the sun. He said it looked like Pac-Man, and the moon is moving at about 1,500 miles an hour, roughly.
Okay.
So it's going to move by very, very quickly.
Right.
And if you wanted to fly an airplane across the country and keep up with it, you would have had to left Oregon flying Mach 1.5 to get all the way across the country.
Yep.
But you're not allowed to fly at Mach speed across the United States.
No. But what's cool is we're, you know, showing video from all across the country as we go along. So we've been checking out some video from Oregon, from here in the Low Country, and everything in between, Nashville.
And Gary, the G-Man over here from 94.3, he's got his camera set up there. He went ahead and he's got the Eclipse glasses on. He's got the Eclipse glasses on. He's got his camera set up, and we could actually see through his viewfinder there that you can look up to the eclipse. And he made a very, very good point.
Talk about that.
With say you have a normal old 35 millimeter camera and you point that up in the sky and it has a viewfinder, your viewfinder doesn't have a filter for the sun. So you're damaging your eyes looking through that viewfinder unless you have the screen on the side or on the back to look through. That's the only way you can do it. Otherwise, you're going to hurt your eyes just as bad as looking up at the sun.
Right. So you don't want to do that. And you know, I've kind of been saying all along, you know, I'm not going to try to take pictures. I'm going to let the experts. So G-Man over here obviously has a nice camera. He's got the filter. I've been emailing Austin Bond a little bit, which we show a lot of his pictures. So he's hoping to get some good ones. I'm going to let the people that take pictures do their thing.
Definitely.
And I'm going to enjoy it.
Now the next eclipse, we were talking about eclipse chasers earlier, just like storm chasers.
Yeah.
The next eclipse is in 2019, and it goes from the Pacific Ocean into Chile and Argentina.
Yep.
So if you want to see it, you've got to head down there in 2019.
So make your plans now.
Yep.
And then there's one in 2024.
And we're not far. We're not far from the path of totality for that one. So,
right. From Texas up to Ohio.
Yeah.
And then 2052, I believe we'll see another.
Coming back here.
To
the Low Country.
Yes.
So
I believe that is the right date.
I'm glad I don't have to wait for that one. We can see the one that's going on today. And
yes.
The clouds have moved back in, and we've got the flow coming in from the northeast. So I think we're going to see some clouds, but it's still going to get dark as night. And with the temperatures cooling, it's making for the perfect night for a baseball game, or the perfect afternoon. And the River Dogs are playing baseball this afternoon. 4:05 is the game, and they've got some eclipse coverage going on right now for all their fans. And that's where we have ABC News 4's Dean Stevens taking a look at what's going on at the Joe.
And I'm Dean Stevens down at the Battery. Coming up, we have met people from far and wide and from different galaxies. In fact, we met Darth Welder.
This is it. This happens every 380 years. Yeah. You know, I got a couple hours I can drive up. It's more like 8, but.
So are we saying we don't really feel confident we're going to be here in the next 380 years?
I don't think so. And if
Well,
so,
you
it would be
never
a
know.
little dusty. Yeah, wouldn't be good.
Did you think he was nuts when he wore the stormtrooper helmet?
No, I'm used to it.
Well, there's actually more behind this. Now, I know a welding helmet will do what these glasses do. And down in Florida, you can't get these glasses.
Yeah.
I tried a million places. So I'm like, you know what, welders' hoods do the exact same thing. But I come from construction. I did for 40 years before I retired. And there was a thing when I had my welding hoods, every one of them had to be painted or decorated. So I says, hey.
Kind of like a hockey helmet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's not all. Coming up, we'll talk to a couple who tied the knot on Eclipse 2017.
Okay, great. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4. Checking Amanda's mic. We're here in Murrells Inlet, along the Marsh Walk where there's a big viewing party. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, looking up from the deck of the Yorktown just a minute ago here for Eclipse on the Warship, and would you say it's about 3/4 covered at this point?
Yes, I would.
Yeah,
I would.
getting to about 3/4 obscured by the moon in front of the sun. So we're in the path of totality,
Right.
and as you head up Highway 17 toward Awendaw, McClellanville, they're going to be in the path of totality just a little bit longer than we are. They're going to be in that path of totality for about 2.5 to 2:45, depending on where you are.
Right.
And that's where we have one of our sister stations, Amanda Kenseth, is there, and she's reporting on what's going on a little bit farther north up the coast from us here in Charleston Harbor.
That's right, yeah, and here in Merle's Inlet for the viewing party, it's about half covered right now. The sun is about half covered. So we've got people filling up the marsh walk, and everyone, of course, is looking this way towards the sun with their glasses. I've got Logan and Blake back here. Logan, you've been planning for this for 2 years.
Actually, my name is Blake.
Oh, Blake. Blake and Logan. All right, talk about, you know, what you've seen so far and how you feel about it.
Well, actually, I've seen the moon look kind of like a crescent by now, and I actually feel pretty good about it because it gets more different shaped. I like how it gets different shaped because then it looks like different things as it goes on.
Right, is this what you were expecting?
Yep.
How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, what you're expecting. Well, a lot of people out here, obviously an exciting day, one that people will remember. And there's a lot of different elements going on here, too. With the water here, we have people out on the boats, of course, people in the marsh walk, and then people in the restaurants, too, peeking out every once in a while. And we'll just stay here. We'll get 99.8%. And we're looking forward to that in about 30 minutes or so, 20 minutes. Back to you. All right, thanks, Amanda. A lot more sunshine up there.
Yeah.
But that's why we're doing this. That's why we're on TV and showing you different parts of the Low Country, different parts of the country.
Absolutely.
You can get different views.
And things will change in the next 15, 20 minutes.
Things have changed here from 30 seconds to a minute.
Yes.
You can look up, you get a better view of the eclipse, not so great a view, so the clouds kind of thinner and thicker at times.
But we've gotten to see quite a show already, and
yeah.
It hasn't even gotten to the total solar eclipse.
Yeah, and some parts of the country are already getting totality.
Yep.
So we're going to show you part of that. So yeah, just pretty cool to see what they're seeing in other parts of the country. So there we are at Nashville, Tennessee. So they're getting very, very close to totality right now. And we were talking about the different phases. So as we get close to totality, we'll get what we call the diamond ring and then Bailey's beads. So pretty cool. And then you can take your glasses off.
That's impressive. And it's going to be dark as night. Wherever you can see blue in the sky right now, you'll be able to see stars very shortly here. So it's really impressive what we're going to see here. Yep. We've got a lot more coming up throughout the Low Country. We'll get you the best views of it and across the entire country. So stick with us. We've got a ways to go.
Welcome back, and we were just talking temperatures, Dave. So we talked about we're going to see a temperature drop, and you've got a thermometer, I've got a thermometer. This is saying 89.4. You've got one in the shade, one in the sun.
Yeah, and the one in the sun's really showing the biggest difference because that one was up about 94, 95 earlier.
Okay.
And it's down to 90 now.
90, right.
So, and I would expect
and we're not even did the total eclipse.
Right.
She said it's going to be we think it's going to be a little after.
Probably right around 3 o'clock we'll see the coolest temperature on that thermometer, and then it's going to start to rise again.
Right. Yeah, because then we'll have till, you know, sunset, which is, what, 8-ish?
Yeah, a little before 8 o'clock.
Before 8.
So we're doing our own scientific experiments. There are lots of kids throughout the Low Country doing scientific experiments. We've got a IMAX camera here shooting the eclipse. We have it looks like a Swiss cheese board over at the other end of the Yorktown.
Right, right.
And you can.
That's a cool way to look at it as well.
That's right. You can see the eclipse. It's kind of like our pinhole projector.
Right, absolutely. But Chris Nessman in the studio, watching the weather for us.
Right.
And not all of the Low Country in the clear,
no,
unfortunately.
Definitely not, and that's why we're bringing you the pictures of the eclipse from across the country throughout the Low Country, because not everyone is going to see the full total solar eclipse, but what we will all get is dark here pretty soon. And Chris is watching those raindrops. He's going to let you know where they are, where they're moving, and we'll let him tell you a little bit more.
Hey, thanks, Dave and Sonia. Yeah, taking a look at current temperatures right now, 89 degrees, and unfortunately we are seeing a lot of cloud cover out there, and really, I'll just say it right now, Summerville is getting the worst of it right now, so let's just zoom right in there. Seeing some heavy showers, heavy rain, some lightning bolts, and it's not really moving anywhere, so I don't know, Mother Nature is just not happy with Summerville or what, because they're unfortunately getting a lot of the heavier rain. We zoom out, Ondaw area, McClellanville not looking too bad, and even Isle of Palms not looking too bad. So it's just very sporadic on who's getting the best, because then you move further inland up towards Santee, not looking too shabby either. Zooming out to the entire state, again, the coast is getting the most, and Summerville is getting the heaviest rain of the coast across South Carolina. So like I said, you got to move around a little bit if you want to break clear, but the coast isn't looking too bad. In fact, I actually just got off the phone with my brother about 20 minutes ago. Eastern Idaho went through totality about a half hour, 40 minutes ago. He said it was awesome. I'm really excited to go through it. So we'll have more on that coming up. Let's toss it over to Ashley.
All right, Chris, been monitoring the social media accounts, and I wanted to show you guys this. We received this picture not too long ago from Roper St. Francis, sweet little baby boy born earlier today there at the hospital in downtown Charleston. The name has yet to be announced, so we will be monitoring that. Could it possibly be something solar eclipse related? Not really sure, but as soon as we find out the name, we'll let you know. But congratulations to this family experiencing that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And then the Charleston County Sheriff's Office tweeted this of their sweet dog, canine Nico, just a few minutes ago, prepared as well with those solar eclipse glasses. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see your pictures. If you have any that you would love to share with us, we want to see them so we can then in turn show them on TV. It's very simple to do. Just download our ABC News 4 mobile app, or you can upload them directly to our website by logging on to abcnews4.com/sendit. We'll of course be showing those throughout the afternoon. We're going to send things back out now to Sonia and Dave. Hi guys.
Yeah, and
I feel it getting cooler.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about the temperature, but I can definitely feel it.
I think that's for a couple different reasons. It feels like that northeasterly wind is really kicking in.
Yeah.
The northeasterly wind typically brings in more clouds.
Yeah. But, you know, we're still getting, you know, just enough of a break to where you can use your glasses and see. So that's great.
I feel bad for some folks back around Summerville, like Chris said, because
just south of Monk's Corner, that area.
Because there are the showers out there, and we knew that was going to happen. We knew there'd be showers in the area.
It's just hard to determine exactly where this time of year. You got the sea breeze playing into it, so it just depends on where the sea breeze sets up.
But we're within about 20 minutes, let's see, almost exactly 20 minutes from totality. And it's going to be an awesome spectacle, whether we can see it right around the sun or not, because the colors in the sky are just going to be phenomenal. Like we had at sunset last night. You've got to have good clouds to get a good sunset. This is going to be like a sunset in the middle of the afternoon.
Right.
So,
which I'm still trying to wrap my brain around.
Yeah, and Dr. Terrier, who I was talking with earlier, he really put it into perspective for me. He said, you're going to be able to watch the sunset come across the harbor, and it's going to block out the entire sun, so you're going to get to see 360 degrees of sunset. On a normal day, you only get to see 180 because of the horizon.
Right, exactly.
So we'll just have to wait and see what presents itself here.
It's going to be cool regardless, like
I've never seen it. A lot of people at home have never seen it, so we'll just have to wait and see what it brings us.
Yeah, and the countdown is on at this point.
Yep, countdown is on. So we're going to go ahead and take a little commercial break here, and we've got plenty more coming up from the Yorktown and all throughout the Low Country. Traffic, weather,
social media,
all of it.
Yep,
so
we got it all.
Stay right where you are. There's lots more to come.
We are getting a good view right now.
Yeah, only a sliver now.
Yeah.
I was saying it looks kind of like the crescent moon on the South Carolina flag.
Yes, it does.
You just see a little sliver of the sun. The moon is moving across from west to east. And you just have a little sliver there. So we were talking, a young lady came up. She was probably, what, about 7 years old, 7 or 8 years old?
7 or 8, yeah.
She came up and she asked us, how fast is the moon moving? And the moon is actually moving a little over 3,000 miles an hour, but the Earth is rotating at the same time underneath the moon at about 1,500 to 1,600 miles an hour. So the apparent speed of the moon going across the face of the sun is right about 1,500 miles. And we're almost there. It's just a little sliver right now. So ABC News 4 Chief Meteorologist Dave Williams with ABC News 4 Meteorologist Sonia Stevens. It's so cool because we've never seen this.
I know, it's exciting. It's exciting. And we're here with about 3,000 of our closest friends, and amongst them we've got our own Alex Heaton. So Alex, what do you got going on?
Hey Dave, Sonia, we're just behind you. There was a big group of people over here, and I noticed them while you guys were talking. They had binoculars over here, and I heard that they had a special filter on, so I came over here and talked to them. This woman, your name's Terry, you're from Maryland.
Hi.
And so tell me, you came down here just for this, right?
Indeed. It was a chance for a lifetime. My best friend Nicole lives in downtown Charleston. She invited us down to see the eclipse.
All right, so I want you to do something. I want you to put your glasses on. I want you to take a look.
Oh, wow. Okay, it's a thin crescent, thin sliver. It's very bright. The moon is very bright.
All right, we've had clouds for a little bit, but overall, it's been really great, hasn't it?
It is. It really has. It's better than I thought it would be.
And what did you just hear just now?
Cheers.
Right, all right. So I want to talk to Nicole now, because you just had the best response when you put those in binoculars.
I didn't know I was so loud.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
But it's fine. It was great.
Yes. I mean, looking through these glasses, that's great. But seeing it through the binoculars was just made it wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to do the same thing. Put your glasses on.
All right. And very clear. I don't know. It's just wonderful. It's amazing to see. Amazing to see.
Are you ready for totality?
I'm ready for totality, definitely. I've been ready for a long time.
All right. Are you glad that you came here to the Yorktown?
I'm glad that I came to the Yorktown. I thought I wasn't going to be able to make it, but I did, and I'm glad to be up here on the flight deck.
All right, perfect. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, so Sonia, Dave, you heard it. You know, we were worried about the clouds, but so far, I mean, they move in and out, and we've got to experience it, and it's been so great. So, guys, back to you.
That was cool. Alex goes, all right, this lady comes down from Maryland. She goes, put on your glasses. Tell me what you see. Wow. And it's really just neat to see. And a lot of people are even like laying down at this point.
Yeah.
Just waiting, because at this point we're about 10 minutes out from totality.
Yep. And
there you can see the helicopter. That'd be a pretty cool view.
Yeah, I'm looking inland, and we've got.
Yeah, it's not looking so good inland.
We've got quite a few thunderstorms just inland.
You know, hopefully those people maybe, you know, kind of realized the weather wasn't going to cooperate, and they're at least getting to watch it on TV.
Right, and that's what they're doing right now. And we've said all along it was going to be typical August weather. That's what we've got.
Right, and August in the low country is hot, humid, with the chance of thunderstorms.
Sun and clouds, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So right now we're really approaching totality. I'm going to take a quick peek up.
Take a quick look. Does it still look great?
There it is.
Does it still look like the crescent moon, or
yes,
getting smaller?
Yes,
getting
it is
much smaller.
Very much just a small sliver right here in the low country. So we've got cameras fixed on that. I don't know if we've got any of the cameras
I think
around
Caitlin's
the low country.
Is there anything we can take?
Caitlin may be able to. We may be able to take hers there.
Okay.
Look at that.
Wow.
So I'm not sure. Is that live on the Yorktown here right next to us? Is that what we're seeing up?
That's
yes.
Caitlin's camera. Okay. Awesome.
Oh, here's another
view.
So,
who is this?
I think this is Bill. So,
it's Allendale. Okay. All right.
So folks,
so cool.
Folks that are under the thunderstorms right now, please, here, we're going to show it to you, and this is why we're doing our coverage.
Oh, absolutely.
Because this is, I said a few months ago, the only way you were guaranteed to see this was on the Southwest flight that goes from Charleston to Nashville, because you'd be up above the clouds.
Right.
There aren't clouds right now in the harbor, and we're getting very, very close. So I'm going to go ahead and put the eclipse glasses on here, and I'm seeing exactly what you're seeing on TV, but there is a little bit more of an orangish yellow glow to the sun. The moon is moving from west to east, and every once in a while, there you hear it. Some cheers coming up from the crowd because it looks like we're in the place to be,
we can
Sonia.
wave. Hey!
So, yeah, there's the helicopter flying around.
Yeah, but we just showed radar, and inland areas kind of between here and Columbia, you know, that's where we're seeing those showers and thunderstorms. So,
well, and if you think back on an eclipse, we really didn't understand mathematically what an eclipse was until the 1800s. So it's only been a little over 200 years that we've been able to tell exactly what an eclipse is going to do. This is something relatively new to us as human beings, even though we've been around for a long, long time. And this used to scare a lot of people in ancient times. Because they didn't understand it. And that's why a lot of people are apprehensive and don't really expect. There's an osprey, Sonia.
Oh, wow.
An osprey flying by. And that's what we said. Animals are going to get freaked out by this because they're not expecting to see the sun setting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And
we've got people kind of spread out all throughout the Low Country, and we sent our Dean Stevens to Citadel Mall. So let's see what he has to tell us about.
Hey everybody, Dean Stevens out in West Ashley at the Citadel Mall. A huge gathering of people here. I mean, they got jump castles, they got huge blow-up inflatable balls with people rolling around, and it all began just a few minutes ago as the moon started to eclipse the sun. We found some people who came all the way from Brazil.